And we're live!
We're live! Hello.
Welcome to the AOR Podcast, guys. We've got the lovely Beyond with us tonight. Guest appearance there. It's usually a Friday night thing, so it's Saturday night, and Beyond has joined us.
Hello.
We're also joined with the one and only Evan.
Can't.
We're actually live this time, mate, so you can say hi. Okay, right. We can't hear you, Ertie, by the way. Stevie.
Hello!
The one and only, the mighty, the awesome, the only guy with the mullet. It's a Stevie.
And we have a Dan. We also have a Dan. How are you, Dan?
Yeah, great, mate. I've got internet now, so I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm not having to rely on a dongle or whatever to get my internet, so it's
I know, because it means I don't have to host, which is really good news.
But it was so much easier for me. It was just like turn
Yeah,
up.
well, what about me? You don't think about me, Dan, do you?
I've done it for months before.
Anyway, as Dan briefly pointed out, it's not Friday, without trying to confuse you. It is actually Saturday today, and we're at 9 PM. It is unprecedented.
I've only just put my bin out. I thought it was Friday.
That's a local joke, because bin collections are on different days around the UK, Dan. Fun fact. Anyway,
God damn it, Dan.
So it's Friday. It's a Saturday. Sorry, it's 9 PM. We've still got natural light. We are hopefully going to have a few more guests joining us. Certainly, we're going to have Tiger Kart joining us. I don't know if we've... Hello?
I just want to know, I'm tuning into the podcast, so are we getting a quiz tonight?
Do you know what? We are.
Whoa.
I know. You didn't see it coming. I know it's like something we've sort of kind of half-assed done. Oh, no. After the last time where Tiger Kart basically made mine look terrible, and when I did mine, I made yours look terrible, I've now done another one to make Tiger Kart look terrible in a constant attempt to one-up it.
Can I just say a shout out to Wizard and Ben in the chat
Hello.
room then? Wizard's always eagerly waiting for the chat podcast, so thank you for
already
tuning in.
waiting for the quiz. Holy crap.
It's all about the quiz. We're getting people for the quiz, mate, just for the quiz. Beyond's like, okay, I'm wasting my Saturday evening with these idiots.
I'm usually working, so I mean, like again, you know, I'm
I'd
usually
rather be down the local boozer in my Wales rugby shirt.
Okay, that's right.
Oh, he's got a voice. He's found his voice.
No,
Anyway,
I was trying to say it there, but I was muted. So.
it's because you mentioned the Welsh, and you just sort of like, oh, let's get in there quick.
God, I love the Welsh. The Welsh are awesome.
So, coming up tonight, other than the quiz.
It's Andy Graham.
Oh, come on, man. I was about to announce what we're doing, and then he turns up and ruins.
Perfect timing.
His face right in there.
How are you doing, dude?
I'm doing well. I'm running late as expected, but
The AOR way. I'm gonna ruin your evening already and say I totally stole your idea this week for the quiz. I used the same website you did, and in my mind I've done better than you did, which is really good. But I feel like I've done better.
okay.
And
That's a fairly bold
know,
statement to make, though.
Bold claims coming from Stevie
I
there.
can make bold claims. I'm allowed to make bold claims. I just don't have to fulfill them.
To be honest, I think yours is better because you were terrible last week.
Oh.
Which is true, to be fair. You were kind of bad.
Anyway, coming up tonight, we've got some usual F1 chats. We've got the quiz, obviously. The
We
brilliant
got to the
quiz.
man in second on the grid.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll end up having a rant and a ramble about other stuff as well.
Track limits.
Does anybody want
not
to
really.
kick things off in regard to qualifying? Hello, baby.
Well, Rosberg was on pole. Not a lot more to say about it.
Hampton shit.
I tell you what, the thing I took from qualifying was, in seriousness, having also just watched the paddock interviews after qualifying, Daniel Kvyat is completely broken.
Oh yeah, please tell me. I haven't watched qualifying, so I mean.
I haven't watched qualifying
so
either. It's all brief.
I want to know what happened with him because I just saw.
He was
Like,
just
I've not watched the
trying
last
to
few years.
Q3, and
Can we get a video up?
he's-
We've got
what?
a video? Is there
I
any...
share the link to the.
Is there a video of the past 2 years? Or,
of today's
At
interview?
least contribute to what we're talking about. What are you spoken about now?
I've posted in the chat the link to the paddock interviews.
Get honestly,
That third one there, he is completely and utterly broken. Will Buxton basically said, "How are you doing? What was wrong today? Was it the car? Was it you? Was it?" Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. He is completely broken. The man is distraught. I honestly don't think at this rate he will be back after summer break.
He just
you will. Just,
He doesn't. He either needs to have a complete proper break where he doesn't see anybody at all from Formula One, or he needs to seriously think on whether he's got the drive to continue.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I...
Can't hear it, but you know.
No, just see his face.
And his face alone said it all, really.
Where did Sainz finish?
He always looks like that.
Top 10.
Top 10.
And Danny didn't even make it in Q2, I don't think.
Sainz has got a penalty though.
Not the point.
Sainz,
So what actually happened? Where did he qualify?
19th.
About 18th. 19th, yeah?
But you might be 18th because of grid penalties. I don't know.
Christ.
But this is... It's getting worse for him. Everything seems to be culminating against him. And,
Well, it must be worse that he's been kicked out of a team, and then the guy that he's been replaced with has actually come in and done pretty well for himself.
I don't just think it's that. I
They
don't just think it's that.
didn't do it the right way. If you wanted to replace him, you did it at the end of the season. And by having him, after 4 races, kicked out, that's just destroyed him. And he's not performing well against Sainz. That's another problem.
Sainz is a good up-and-coming driver.
Sainz had the match was a good enough match for Verstappen.
He was unlucky compared to Verstappen.
Verstappen shit.
Correct.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, we have to look at the car itself, and I mean, I can't believe how bad Ferrari is at the minute. It's just completely fallen.
Ferrari needs to scrap this season.
I mean, I don't know what the hell from Australia where they should have won that race, and they've just completely gone.
Oh, it's James Allison.
There's been like,
Sky.
Yeah.
I've seen that as well about Sky F1 talking about, you know, it's an obvious reason why he's gone. Just leave it at that. They're the man. Fucking go home and fucking be with his family. I mean, fucking honestly, that's why I hate Sky. I fucking hate them. Poor and totally biased commentator.
What have they said about it?
Well, they were going through analysing why he left. It's like a pretty obvious reason why his fucking wife died. What the
Yeah, I
fuck
was just
do you
about to say his
think?
wife died recently.
Yeah.
And he's got kids as well.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, we need to analyse this, don't we? Bring more fucking pain on him, like, that's just fucking stupid. The only good thing about today is the fact Rosberg got pole, so I can watch all the Hamden fanboys cry in front of my eyes. I can see Dan's tears filling up, and I can see Eddie starting to cry as well.
Estelle got 3 world titles, so I don't care.
Vettel's got 4, but you know, I'm not counting.
Talk about Rosberg.
in the trap, Bimu says he'd rather see Pierre Gasly in after the break, having never been a Kvyat fan. I don't think
Not right
Gasly's
for Gasly.
good enough. Thing is I don't think in GP2 at the minute there is one really standout performer. I think they're all either quite good or there's no great ones.
Gasly's getting there.
He's getting there, but I don't think he's ready yet.
Not yet, but give him time. He'll be
and
ready.
Genius, who is apparently good enough to be in the chat, not good enough to be on a podcast.
That's exactly what I said.
Do you think Ferrari should focus a bit more on next season now?
Ferrari should start focusing on 2018 because that's the only fucking time they're going to get around to actually doing something.
Yeah.
They should just
Do you
scrap
think-
the season.
Do you think Sebastian Vettel's starting to realise why Fernando Alonso left?
Yeah, it always makes. There's two people on Twitter I follow. I won't mention their names, and they keep posting like anti a lot.
Tell them.
I'm not saying
Go
that. But they keep posting anti-Alonso tweets and stuff like that. And I'm looking at them like, yeah. So how do you feel about qualifying today after Vel losing his plot and it's the exact same that Alonso was doing when he was fucking there. Tell me the difference. Oh wait, there is no difference. It's exactly the same. Ferrari are not the same team they were.
Thing is honestly, you would have to argue on a test of since they switched team. Well, since Alonso went to McLaren and Ferrari have gone, Vettel went to Ferrari. You would argue that in that time McLaren have made the most progress. McLaren are nearly always now fighting for nearly Q3. Which they were struggling to get out of Q1, whereas now Ferrari are slowly starting to drop back.
It shows how bad Ferrari are at the minute that they kept Kimi Räikkönen in there when they've got other people on the grid that are at the heels of Kimi Räikkönen. Bottas, Hülkenberg, I think. Bottas, Hülkenberg, I think, still deserves a chance.
Perez.
You've got Perez there. Yeah, exactly. You've got Grosjean. Grosjean obviously went to Haas, so I'm not sure how long he's tied down for. But, you've got all these drivers. You've got Sainz as well. Take a gamble. Take a risk. Go for it. They got Verstappen and Red Bull. Why not?
Here's the other thing. I don't think Vettel's driving as well as he previously has. I don't like Vettel at all, but I don't think... in recent races, I don't think he's...
Definitely.
I think he's letting the frustration get to him, and I don't think he's not being pushed by Kimi.
And that's why Ricciardo and Verstappen work so well together. Because
that's why Lewis and Rosberg work together, because they constantly on the boundary. They do. Yeah. Even if on the track they hit each other every 5 seconds. In qualifying and practice, they're constantly pushing each other to get more time. You know that Mercedes are getting everything out of the package, whereas you could argue that Ferrari probably aren't.
No, it shows with Haas doing I think at one point there was a Haas car in front of the Ferrari and he couldn't get past him, even though the Haas was running the 2015 spec engine. It's like, well, something's not right there, is it? You shouldn't have that problem. No, Ferrari. It's not in it anymore. I think if Red Bull had the engine, I'm telling you now, they'd be all over Mercedes. All over Mercedes. Mercedes wouldn't look as dominant as they are. Red Bull would still be the one.
Mm-hmm. I'm just dropping a link in the chat room now. Give it a retweet to be entered into the competition to win 5 Amazon voucher. Sorry, just to sidetrack the conversation there.
You do. The other bit of F1 news is the news that come out of the strategy group, where they've made quite a few bold decisions. First one, standing starts for wet races. So normally they'll start behind the safety car and then the safety car will go in the go racing. Now they'll go up behind the safety car and then they'll form up on the grid and then they'll go racing. Thoughts on that?
Alright.
They could still, at the standing start, then just bring out the safety car. That's still an option for them, which is the only little flaw.
All that shit.
Progress. Definitely progress.
I think the strategy group was very good this week.
Wow. That's a bit debatable sometimes.
Do you know what? I'm with Evan. I think most of what they've come out with has been good.
Apart from track limits.
Track limits, that's the problem. But
did any of you see the Christian Horner, Martin Brundle argument?
I didn't.
No.
Christian Horner basically said, and was arguing for them to go, do you know what? Screw track limits. If it means they have to go wide, then go wide. If that's the fastest line, then they take the fastest line. And if it means they go off the track at all the corners, then they go off the track. It's like, that's just stupid. And then Brundle said, so at that point I can just I won't bother with the stadium section. I'll just cut through the gap in the wall, and I'll just rejoin near the drag strip, and I'll take pole. And Horner went, well, no, you're just being ridiculous. Well, no, if you don't have track limits, then where's the line? Where do you say, well, that's too much? That's just taking a piss.
Eh?
Yeah, that is true.
But
They need to.
Oh,
Go on.
But the thing is, when they're discussing it, they were like, okay, so the strategy group said track limits, let's forget them. And that's what they agreed with. But Charlie Whiting went out and immediately said, that's ridiculous, we're not doing that. No, they can't even agree with each other.
Yeah, well.
They should have the electronic sensors on the parts of the track where people try to take the mick. If you go over those, that's the end of it. Your lap is gone. It doesn't matter if you lost time or not. You went over that and you did cut the track. Therefore, your lap cannot be validated. I'm not bringing this. Well, I am bringing this up because it's also a joke. But Hamilton's pole lap of Britain, his 4 wheels were off the track, and yet he was deemed okay. And then you had the incident with Kevin Magnussen.
True.
He shouldn't have been allowed to go into qualifying Q3. Was it Q3 or Q2?
Q2 probably.
Q2, I think, yeah. He shouldn't have been allowed to go through, and yet they penalised drivers beforehand for the exact same incident. Is no consistency, and it also shows as well with the speeding limit that they didn't put on Hamilton today as well. Because if we look back, every single incident in FP, when people speed in the pit lane, they get a penalty. They get a 10 pace grid penalty. Yet today, no. Didn't happen. I do agree that it should be a fine. It should go to the teams, but that rule hasn't changed yet. So I don't know why they changed it for Hamilton today. No consistency.
The problem is we have different stewards at every round, so we can't really be consistent because what one steward thinks is okay,
Well,
the other steward's going to think different.
That's counter argument, though, isn't it? Because that's like saying to us at AOR that because it's a different track, we should be different for looking at stewards.
Yeah, we don't have a rotor as the stewards.
So I mean,
you're doing this round, you're doing that round, you're doing that.
I don't believe that. That's not an argument, in my opinion. That's a scapegoat. I think that's being too kind.
Well, here's the argument: is that
these people should be experienced enough to do it, to know what they're doing, and to know what's right and wrong.
The other argument is that today we found that it was a team problem. It was the team's decision to release him, so the team got fined. But if that had been in the race, it would have been a drive-through, which means to penalise the driver. So in that phase, it's the driver's problem.
So there's no consistency about it. Whose fault is it? I mean, fair enough. Hamilton was told he had to leave the pits. So if you leave the pits, it's obviously a team fault. But according to the rules, it's a driver issue. So he should have got a penalty.
I'm of the same thought, to be honest. Because it was very obvious. Put it this way: I've seen them penalised for way less than that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's fucking stupid.
The other thing to come out of the strategy group was the lift on radio restrictions.
This I agree with.
I kind of, but this is going to be...
What's this?
I agree with it with the mechanical side. If you have an issue and you want a car to go to the end, I think it's acceptable for a team to say, yes, you need to go into this mode to actually get that car to the end. I'm fair enough about the you can go faster here or this if you go into this gear or do this or blah 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 on the steering wheel. Fair enough. We don't want to see that come back. But for mechanical side, they need. I mean, how many fucking buttons are on that? How many modes are on that steering wheel? How the fuck are you supposed to remember all those if something goes wrong?
I was a bit of a spoiler. When I was doing some research for the F1 quiz earlier, I was listening to some team radio, and in 2013, Button went on the radio and complained that the DRS beep was too loud. So they told him how to change that. That was in 2013. That's on those wheels. Imagine what they've got now.
Yeah.
But no, I would rather have the radio restrictions open rather than seeing drivers retire because they're not being told stuff or getting penalised because they're not being told stuff. But I don't want to see driver coaching.
No, I don't. They had it right with the radio rules where they couldn't tell you, how to take this corner and that corner. That's fine. Mechanical side, they must. That had to be lifted.
Safety-wise and mechanically.
Exactly.
Fine.
I mean, what if it escalated the mechanical issue and they spun off or something like that? I mean, it could have been avoided, couldn't it? So there you go.
Very valid point there, mate. Definitely.
Beamer says, I always say that the driver and team should be punished together. The driver is part of the team. So a drive-through or a grid penalty or a reprimand and a fine as well?
I just want to touch on something that Andy just brought up, and that's the halo.
Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah, that was the other thing to come out.
So
It's good.
I think them not doing it next year is good, but waiting until 2018 is bad. It's an open wheel.
It's an open wheel and it's just got to be closed cockpits in, so hope it never gets introduced because the drivers know the dangers of the sport and they come into it and then they start closing the cockpit.
The thing is, if you go back to like 60 years ago and you look at the cars they used to, they had no neck support. So after I think it was about here on their body was out of the car, so they'd be driving. Whatever was here, if the car went over, was getting ripped off, and they've improved that greatly now. The death rate is massively reduced in comparison to what it used to be.
Well, you sort of look at Kubica's accident in Canada, where he spun over about 50 billion times in that car, hit 2 walls, didn't have a halo on there, and he didn't have a head injury.
Yeah.
We had a tragic accident, and it was a fluke accident with you.
Definitely a freak.
Plus,
If we did that race 1,000,000 times, it would not happen again.
Yeah.
I can sort of see the FIA
has gone too far this time because I mean, fair enough that they want to look at it. There's been many instances where Fernando Alonso at Spa where Grosjean is flying in front of him. Fair enough, you have to look at it. They have looked at it, but the halo, I'm afraid, it just isn't a solution. I mean, you look at Fernando Alonso's crash at Australia. Would he have got out of the car if that halo was on?
No, he wouldn't.
The other thing, I can see the logic in that I would rather they delayed it for 2018 and got it right. If they're going to do it, whether we want them to do it or not, I want them to get it right. And it's like, they've had there's been like 2 race drivers have had it. Vettel's had a go with it. Ricciardo and Raikkonen have had a go. That's 3. And then I think Gasly tested it at the Silverstone test. And they say all drivers need to have a go with it.
I think Red Bull had it better than... Was it Ferrari that came out with a halo?
Ferrari had the halo.
Yeah,
the Red Bull had the aero screen.
The Red Bull aero screen looked better.
The problem with the aero screen...
It wasn't good. It didn't pass the tests.
But in Red Bull's own video, they fired a tyre at the aero screen and it still hit the driver. I mean, why would you show that?
But... it's just, I don't think you can ever, with this formula, you just can't win. Otherwise, you're just going to have to say, well, close cockpit. I don't think you can have a sort of hybrid open and / cockpit.
You can't.
Car. It's just impossible. I mean, what sort of scenarios are they going to go through to try and get the drivers to train to get out the car faster with that halo on?
Well, this is it. They've already got the shoulder restraint that most of the bigger guys take off because they can't get the shoulders through. So, and then they've got the halo on top of that. Are they going to have to climb over the halo or kind of fold between it?
It's just sort of going to be a scramble to fucking try and get out of whatever's fucking left of the car, I think, at the end of it.
They're going to play Twister every time they try and get in and out of the car.
Spin the fucking... Yes.
It's impossible to get out safely if the car's on its roof. It's impossible. You can't.
So, Wizard in the chat went, Halo? Oh, great game. I love Halo.
Halo, or shit game. Console faggot. Peasant.
Oh, I love this.
Peasant.
Get a PC.
Counter-Strike.
Wow, you're really flying the flag there, Dan. Anyway, of all the things you could suggest. Anyway,
Was it 80s? Let's bring 80 in on the Halo. I want to hear 80s and Andy's opinion on this, because 80 just seems as if he wants to fall asleep there, to be honest.
Nah, just they took it too far since Bianchi died. Just you didn't need that extra protection. I mean, they've had in IndyCar. I mean, they had random debris flying about, and we had Justin Wilson die.
Mm.
I mean, IndyCar is a bit slightly different, but
I mean, they have more airborne accidents than F1 does, and they haven't gone closed car big, so.
I don't think it's needed. It just makes you go on board with an F1 car with the Halo. It looks like you are in the point of view of a bus driver. It's just no Formula One.
No, it'd be hard to watch it, I think, if it did have it.
And I was sleeping for Q1 and Q2 today, so I wasn't really disappointed in the result, because Rosberg's been dominating all week by a couple of dents, so there you go. Aye, so...
Andy, your thoughts on Halo?
My problem is driver's visibility, because you've got that massive thing in the middle, which Vettel has even come out and said, hey, there's visibility problems. So that's my main concern, especially when you've got the red lights to let people know that the car's harvesting energy. So that could be a bit of a problem, and that could cause accidents itself. That's my big problem at the moment. And really, it's not needed. If you're going to have a solution to this, make sure it's the best solution before trying to introduce it. We haven't had a valid solution yet, so there really isn't any point introducing anything yet.
Fair comment. Fair comment. So, what are our predictions then for Hockenheim? The race tomorrow.
Sorry, I mean...
I'll go down the order. We'll start with Andy this time. Top 3.
This all depends on the start, but I think if Rosberg makes a good start, but he hasn't done recently, I think it'd be Rosberg, Hamilton, and then Ricciardo.
It's not about the start. It's about a run down to the hairpin.
Yeah, basically, if Hamilton can get in front of Rosberg...
If Hamilton can smash Rosberg on his side pod, he won't get a penalty and win the race.
Can I interrupt here for a second? Has anybody else seen that Lidl is advertised on Red Bull?
Yeah, I did see.
I mean, come on, how the
That's
fuck did
fantastic.
Lidl afford to get on the Red Bull Formula One team's car? On the nose of all places. That's like prime viewing spot.
The thing is with Lidl is we say that because we're Brits, but in Germany they are freaking a good company in Germany.
Do you know the problem with Lidl's problem over here is they can't pronounce their own name. Every little advert they call it Lidl, which is wrong.
It's Lidl.
It's Lidl. It's Lidl.
It's
If
Lidl.
only we had a German to tell us.
No, we don't need a German. You've got me. I'll explain. Lidl.
It's not Lidl. It's Lidl.
It is!
In Germany, it's Lidl. They say Lidl.
Well, we're not in Germany, are we? We're here.
Let's get back on track.
This is sort of similar to going back to I think it was the first American Grand Prix in a while, a couple of years back. And I think it was Red Bull again. They had Sky advertised on the end of the wing. And this was while the BBC were still presenting it. And it was the following year when Sky were going to take over, or the year before, where this Sky logo appeared, and the BBC commentators all investigated it, and they basically said that it was because Sky is so big in America, that's why it was on the car. I think it was America. I'm pretty sure it was America. It was some race anyway, and then the following year Sky took over and they completely did it, but they only did it in that one country because they were really popular there and they wanted their logo to be seen, which was good product placement in general, which is exactly what Lidl have done with the Red Bull. Anyway, moving on.
Shall we get back on topic with the Hockenheim predictions?
Yeah, we should.
Right, Ben, off you go.
I'm gonna I'll put Rosberg P1. Hamilton's gonna get P2, but P3 is. Where did Verstappen finish?
Fourth.
Just go
See,
Ricardo.
because Red Bull they just fuck up Ricardo's fucking strat, so I'll go with Verstappen P3. Dan, don't look surprised, but Rosberg has been beating Hamilton all again, so sorry, mate.
Beat him last week, and he
Okay.
still got beat.
Evan,
Yeah,
off you go.
BMF.
I like this guy.
Wait a minute. Let me look at the
Wait, if
qualifying.
Rosberg gets the win, he goes back ahead, doesn't he? By
Yes,
it's equal.
the 6 point.
One point.
It goes on race wins then, doesn't it?
No, it's 1 point. Is it? Lewis is only 6 points ahead, is he not? 7?
Yes. Yeah.
7 points between first and second. A point.
Yeah. It'll be 1 point then. Yeah.
Ben in the chat. Whether said that it'll be Rosberg first, Hamilton second, Ricardo third. Ben's being brave and saying Rosberg first, Ricardo second, Hamilton third.
Can we just show Wizard the door and Ben and beyond as well? We'll move back to a Friday now, lads. I think.
You can never get rid of me now, I'm afraid.
We don't want to.
Go on then, Dan, while Evan's still looking. What are your predictions?
I'm gonna say I really want it to be Lewis. In fact, no, I'm gonna go Lewis, Rosberg, and I hope Ricardo. I think he's got the pace, especially, but I don't know if he's going to have an issue in that first corner. He's got a lot of troublemakers behind him. In fact, well, they're not quite troublemakers. But
I mean, Verstappen's a bloody reckless loony.
he's quite aggressive, and as Ricardo's his teammate, he's going to be going in there and pushing as much as he can, knowing that Ricardo's got this. Oh, my teammate's there. I can't fucking barge him off or whatever.
You can.
He should
If you listen to Mercedes, you can.
You
Hopefully,
listen to
it can't
Rosberg,
barge
yeah.
him off.
If you listen to Rosberg, the apex is here, but you can turn about. Here.
I won't get
It's about an inch from there. But anyway, yeah, I'm going Hamilton, Rosberg, and Ricardo.
Genius is saying Hamilton win, Verstappen second, Rosberg third. That's
old.
interesting. Beam is saying Hamilton will win. Come on then, Evan. What have you got?
I've got Felipe Massa to win. Bottas second after Bottas has to let Felipe Massa through in a 2010 reenactment.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that the two Mercedes are at crash out on lap 1, and Ricardo's going to win with Vettel second and Raikkonen third.
Oh, Raikkonen third. Someone's awful.
Well, you say that.
not.
My prediction is Rosberg first, Hamilton second, Raikkonen third.
I think Raikkonen's going to come back with a good streak.
He has been on form recently.
Supporting him still is
Raikkonen's been on
because-
form for one race.
no, he's coming back. He's coming back. He's been doing terrible. He's coming back.
He's not coming back. He's not.
He is!
No.
Back
Yes!
from his shit.
Watch him lose by like 50 points to Vettel in the championship.
He's ahead!
Watch him lose. He's going to lose to Vettel.
But he's ahead!
Raikkonen's going to be at that
Over
World
halfway through the
Championship.
season, and he's ahead. So Ferrari should be supporting him for the bloody championship.
Raikkonen's going to be at
Vettel's
that FIA
fine, right.
awards
Really, shut the fuck up.
ceremony.
Oh, anyway. Remember, by the way, guys, you can enter a competition by doing the Twitter.
I haven't done that yet.
You can't win anyway, but you should retweet it anyway. I'm going to
We should.
shut my window.
Oh. Well, what about F1 2016 game hype? Eh?
playing the beta is so much fun.
Um,
Can't really talk about it other than that.
I cannot still wait for when it is released and multiplayer is plagued with issues yet again, and we have to scramble to sort out the mess the Codemasters release upon us yet again. That is my optimism.
I think for the first time ever, I'm gonna wait for the reviews from some of these people before I buy it, instead of buying it on release date.
I mean, I'll be getting it because I'm a sucker, because I have to.
I've already pre-ordered it.
But but we'll see where it is. I mean, I'm not hoping for much. It looks better. Don't get me wrong. It is promised to get better, but they promised us last year and the year before when they said there was a new code for online, and look how that new code did for us online last year. Arse.
But quick update to interrupt the whole talk thing. Dan's complete laptop just disagreed with everything he said and is throwing a tantrum and is restarting.
As long as you got an SSD, it's fine.
Forever 2016, personally, as long as career mode works, I'm quite happy with that because I would like a good career mode and a good single player.
Who cares?
You guys are
I
gonna
care. We're talking. We have somebody who is already playing the game. I would like to point out in this.
You can't say anything. Okay, you can say anything. You can't say
Well,
stuff now.
I could just say, Ultimate AI is hard. I can tell you that.
Why? You can't say that.
If you find AI hard, get off the stream.
Oh
They're
my
off
God,
now.
no. I'm sorry.
Fucking slow.
Ultimate AI. Ultimate AI.
Ultimate. The fact they put the word ultimate in actually hurts my eyes and ears.
They are
I can't wait. Beyond
Don't know
what
why
I
it
think
hurts
you
my
should do,
eyes.
Ben, what you need to do is, as soon as it comes out, you need to do a stream, like a 50% race on Ultimate, and if you lose...
I'll do that
then-
in fucking mana and I'd still win.
That's a claim! I think this should be some sort of challenge, and there should be a forfeit for when you don't win.
Right.
I agree with that.
Dream on.
Oh, dear me. So, I was about to suggest we start the quiz, but Dan's not here, so
Hmm.
I can't.
So what do we talk about now?
How rubbish Dan's laptop is.
Yeah. It's because he's a Hamilton fan.
Yay!
Let's say that.
Get in there.
What?
Fucking Holden fans.
I wasn't even listening. I'm watching.
Exactly.
Hey, chat, have you got any
Ignorant
questions or anything
fools.
for us? Oh, by the way, as we're waiting for Dan, I'll give you a little information about the chat, the quiz. Sorry, it's basically the same as what Ben did last week, but different questions. So you'll need Kahoot open.
I'm not Ben, I'm Andy, just want to say.
Andy,
Fair point.
Ben,
Fair point.
beyond.
Fair point. I'm just gonna go.
What a retard.
Yeah. Oh no! You can't say that. Can't say that. No, you can't say that.
Oh, what's wrong?
No, I said that. What on like the first podcast I said that, and you like, oh, yeah, fucking madman, you can't say that. So now I say it back.
No,
I could say much worse, Stevie,
I'm sure you could.
if you really want me to.
I don't want to. I'd like people to come back to the podcast. Wizard is saying it would be great for F1 2017 if you could have a career starting with GP3, go to GP2 and F1 at the end. And you will never get that.
No.
You will never get that.
No,
First thing
FOMR
you're going to
isn't-
get to that is will be either iRacing, which will be like a single player. Well, not even single player. You have to sort of imagine it's a career mode, or Project Cars. You're never going to get it official because it's just licensed.
if you want anything, you have to go to iRacing.
Do you want to talk about iRacing, Evan?
Oh, yeah.
How was your race, Evan?
Oh, it was great. You know, that's. It was just great. I mean, I must have been drunk or something because I can't remember. it. I left the session to reset my router, and that server went down when I done that. So 3 or 4 other people didn't get back in the session. So luckily my pedals broke last week, so I wasn't that bothered about the race. So it wasn't that big of a issue for me.
Is that your thing in
Yeah,
every
you say that. Hey, Dan's back.
Oh my god, I panicked then.
Yes, he did. He
I
had
don't know who's got control of the stream, by the way. But someone else has. I think it might be Beyond.